What about the videos of you sucking dick and having nut in your fucking ear and having niggas slap their dick across your face? For the past couple of years, I guess you would say, there has been this trend of former whores, prostitutes, OnlyFans girls, whatever terminology you want to use to describe them, turning away from their devious past, the past in which they are ashamed of or purport themselves or present themselves to be ashamed of, and turning over a new leaf or a new grift or a new hustle, as I like to say and a lot of many other people like to say, and that is Christianity. Now, there is nothing wrong with a person going from doing bad things to deciding to give their life unto God, Jesus Christ, whatever the case may be, to do something better because they realize the mistakes and the bad things that they have done throughout life. But that's where, when I mentioned the grift, comes into place, because I don't believe that a lot of these people actually believe in Jesus Christ being Lord and the Bible and doing the right thing. What I think is that these people, and there are many examples, but the one that I am thinking about now, because it's at the forefront of my mind, is Nala Ray, which if you're in these spaces on YouTube, you know who Nala Ray is. She was the fucking whore with the red hair who was acting crazy on the whatever podcast, who got interviewed by Michael Knowles, which Michael Knowles, I love you, man. I bought your book, Speechless. A great book. I respect you a lot. You're a very smart individual. But you give too much leeway to prostitutes, which you did to her on your channel when you interviewed her, and also what you do to these whores whenever you visit the whatever podcast. Is too much leniency. Too much leniency. But anyway, they use these prostitutes, former prostitutes, whatever the case, they use Christianity as a shield from criticism. Like this. I'm no longer this. So therefore you can't criticize my past because now Jesus shield. I'm no longer this. Hey, so men marry me. Wait a minute. What about the videos of you sucking dick and having nut in your fucking ear and having niggas slap their dick across your face and you eating pussy on the internet? What about that Jesus shield? So this is why Christianity gets a bad rap from young men in particular. Excuse me. It has the reputation over time. This isn't a recent thing, but over time, as it's a circular loop. Men don't go to church because church preaches like prosperity, charismatic bullshit, which we don't care. Preach the word. So less men go to church, more women go to church, therefore more women tied to the church. So therefore the pastor has to preach to the customer, and the customer is women. And as you get more, and as there are more women in church, there are less men in church, therefore the message changes and so forth and so on, and you get this problem. And so the men that are left in church, who still go to church because they either actually believe or because their mama forces them to go to church, the picking of suitable wives that they get is not that great. So you have single baby mothers in there, you have former prostitutes in there, and you have old women. And you got sassy niggas in there. Let's not act like the church ain't sassy as well, because it very much is, as we can see, especially on the Protestant side, which is why Protestantism is a losing school within Christianity. That's why men tend to gravitate more towards Catholicism and Orthodoxy, and outside of Christianity, Islam. That's why Islam is very popular amongst young men, for that reason. They stick to the faith. There is no wiggle room for people who are outside of that, for modernism or for secularism to make its way into the religion, into the doctrine. But anyway, the men that stay, those are their picks. So then you tell those men who believe in Jesus, who have done good their entire lives, who have lived by the word their entire lives, that they can't have preferences for good women who don't have a past. They can't have preferences for virgins. They can't have preferences for young women. but that these good Christian men who have done right by God, who have done right by their communities, who have done right by their families themselves, their entire lives, that they have to marry these whores. They have to save these women from their mistakes. Not that these women ought to, go into seclusion, join a monastery, you know what I'm saying? Repent, disappear for a few years. No. These women can be whores 5 weeks ago, get baptized by some heretical fucking preacher or whatever the case may be, and then like that, they are deserving of men who have devoted their lives to the Christian ethic and doing right by their community. Now, does that seem like a fair deal? Does that seem like something that rational men of character, men with values and principles, does that seem like a deal that they would make? No, it doesn't, and it's not a deal that they would make, and that's why men have been leaving the church, despite the efforts of so many people, former prostitutes, whores, fucking sassy men in the church. Despite the efforts of these people to shame these good Christian men into taking on these substandard wives or these substandard women as wives, by using languages such as, "You're not a real man if you don't." I don't know how to tell you this, but that "you're not a real man" bullshit, that's dead. That's done. Nobody cares anymore. Not the niggas that you want. The niggas that you want don't care. We don't give a fuck. You're not a real man. I guess I'm not. I still won't be marrying that whore. What's your point? What exactly is your point? You're trying to shame me into doing something which is bad for me. Yeah, you can suck my dick the long way. Actually, don't do that because you probably have herpes and AIDS and syphilis and gonorrhea. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out these videos if you want to see more. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.